Chief Global Affairs anchor Martha Raddatz and the editor-in-chief of the Daily Beast, John Avlon. Welcome to you both. Martha, let me begin with you. So the White House saying no set agenda for this meeting, no specific briefing for the president either. But what would constitute a successful meeting for the White House?
Well, George, I think a successful meeting would be they establish a good working relationship going forward with President Trump clearly laying out the grievances the U.S. has with Russia. You heard some of those in his speech yesterday about Ukraine and the support of the Assad regime in Syria, and that Putin gets the message that Trump is not his friend and that he will remain tough. As for bringing up the hacking, there are certainly those who do not think the meeting will be a success unless he brings it up, George.
And John, the president is tough talk in his speech yesterday, but in that press conference, he seemed to take the Putin line on hacking.
And this is the dichotomy of Donald Trump, right? Scripted Donald Trump was very tough on Russia yesterday in a very well-written speech standing up for Western values. But in private and at press conferences, he tends to freelance and fall in line with the Putin line. And that's going to be the real challenge. In private, does he take that tough line? Is he consistent about standing up to Syria? Does he bring up Russian hacking? Or does he default to what we've heard since the campaign?
Yeah, and we saw him freelance in the meeting with the Russian foreign minister. But Martha, that talk about hacking yesterday came to the consternation of American intelligence officials.
It sure did, George. I can't stress enough how astonishing that was to hear a president on foreign soil cast doubt on his own intelligence agencies. Imagine Vladimir Putin saying the same things about his own intelligence agencies while at those meetings. This just does not happen. It's humiliating for these American professionals. Yes, they have made mistakes, but they work every day to help make the country safe. And President Trump, of course, seems to believe them when he wants to. He had no problem firing those cruise missiles at Syria based on intelligence, nor did he seem to have any doubts about North Korea launching what his intelligence agencies told him was an ICBM, George.
And John, on the broader agenda, the president lined up against most of the G20 leaders on the big issues of climate and trade.
Right. Yes, and look, that's inevitable because the president has committed to his domestic base these things that are broadly unpopular within the international community. That's fine. Does he try to bridge it in other ways? Does he try to keep American leadership paramount? Because right now, America can pursue an America First agenda, but it needs to also show that that doesn't mean America alone. And right now, that confidence isn't there. He needs to be leader of the free world and assert that kind of leadership. But leading from behind doesn't work if you keep avoiding these international agreements.